What's up and good afternoon. Welcome back to another video. This morning I got a call from our neighbor that does the morning shift with the animals. And well, apparently, I have not seen it yet. We're gonna go see this together. He thinks some coyotes broke into our chicken coop and well have since enjoyed themselves with some chicken dinners. I don't know how many. I don't know what we're gonna drive up to right now. I was gonna say walk up to, but we're clearly in the mini truck. Are the chickens still there and not? I don't know what I'm looking at here. So we're rolling up on the chicken coop. No, that might be a bag of some stuff. Doesn't look like we have a whole lot of chickens left. So the gentleman that takes care of our chickens early in the morning, he's like, I don't even know how old he is. He's got to be in his late 70s, 80s. He's a very older gentleman. He's a caretaker on one of the properties out here, and well, to help him out with a couple of extra bucks a month. Well, based on the amount of feathers that are around here, actually most of these are geese feathers, because that one looks like he's molting. George! So George only makes noise when you make noise. I mean, also I just walked up, but he's got to chill out for a little bit. So according to him, they are getting in, the coyotes are getting in somewhere over here. I mean, clearly this did not used to be pushed in. I honestly didn't even know this was a door. But that's, I'm gonna guess they didn't get in there. Unless it was a raccoon, because a raccoon would definitely climb up and get in over there. I mean, really nothing. He says he shoved some stuff in somewhere. Maybe right there they dug underneath. Maybe this is the stuff that he shoved in to try to keep them from getting in. I don't really know. We'll do a little more investigating here, but that could have been the spot that they were getting in. Problem is, if it's coyotes, coyotes are smart, obviously, so they're gonna know, hey, we've got a nice food source over here. Let's just keep going back there if they don't fix the problem. Also, we've got all the other animals coming over. Look at the goats looking all fluffy. What's up, goats? How are you? We got the donks over here. All the animals coming to see what's up. You know, like I mentioned in a previous video, if these were horses, I probably wouldn't be super comfortable just kneeling down right here with a bunch of big old horses around me. But these donkeys, y'all are pretty gentle. At least to us, you are. What's up? Oh, you trying to check out the camera? You trying to check out the camera? What are you guys doing? Hello. Hello, how are y'all? You guys won't help me fix whatever we're about to fix? Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. Oh, hey. I'm just talking about how gentle you are and you go chasing one of the goats. No, that's not okay, Legacy. You were nice, remember? We just talked about how you've become the nice one. Tammy and Gwen over there, they've become the mean ones, but then you go chase a goat. No, we don't chase goats. All right, upon entering the chicken coop area, George, it's gonna be hard to film, bro, if you just keep yelling. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chickens left. I think when we moved in, there was like 14, 15, 16, I don't know. We've lost a couple over the years, just randomly, one or two will drop here and there for like, we don't know why. You'll just kind of find them dead in the coop. Get some fresh water over here for these guys. The geese love fresh water. George will probably go over there and start gargling some water and swimming into that in a second. But coming over to the chicken coop, like I just don't see, maybe right there they can dig in. I just don't see them getting through that. I don't see them getting underneath the chicken coop because, well, there's wire that goes all the way down, so they'd have to be getting them from inside the coop, which I do see some bloody feathers right there. Everything's got to be happening from inside the coop because a lot of them do like to go in there at night. George, he's gonna try to come sneak attack me right now. Let's see what happens. He likes to put his head down like that, like he's a gangster coming up to you like, what's up? What's up? You ain't got it in you. You ain't got it in you. You want to be friendly. You just act tough. He's getting closer. He's trying to work up the courage to take a little nip. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then he gets mad because I'll go up and are you mad I'm talking? You're getting closer. I'll go up and pet him, and then he's like, damn it, I'm trying to act tough. I can't act tough if you're petting me. Yes, can I help you? Can I help you? Watch this. Yeah. You can't act tough when I'm petting you. Yeah. I know. What's up, buddy? Yup. You're not so tough when you're getting pet, are you? You're not so tough when you're getting pet, are you? I think the most he has ever done is like nipped my shoe a little bit. He's pretty chill. He just talks a lot, talks a big game. So honestly, y'all, I'm not seeing where anything is getting in. I mean, maybe let's go check this corner over here. Unless they're getting into the coop, which I guess we can block off the coop so the chickens can't go in there for now until we figure something else out, because they don't really need to be in there. But I mean, we've got a lot of holes here, but these are from squirrels digging in to come eat some of the chicken food. Now the old refrigerator box truck box has been fantastic for storing all of the feed for the chickens. So we've got all of that in here. So we can grab some of this. I'm just gonna feed them right now, keep them distracted, maybe keep George distracted, but probably not. He's not really food motivated. We like to give them a mix of some chicken scratch and some chicken crumble. And clearly it looks like we need to restock on our supplies. And for anybody wondering what it costs for all of the animals, I believe it's around $400 or $500 every month and a half to feed them with hay, the goat food, the chicken food, and all of that. I believe it's about, yeah, I think it's like $400 or $500 every month and a half. So it's not too bad, but we also have tons of land for them to go graze on. Mix it around, give you a little nice little combo there. George, I'm mixing it for you, buddy. I'm mixing it for you. All right, I'm sorry. There you go. Give you a little mix. You want some? You want some? No, and then the guinea hens, they're gonna want some, so I'll give a little bit out there for you guys. Oh, and Henry the peacock. So honestly, guys, I don't really see where anything could get in. I mean, I'll check back over here on this door. I mean, how did this even open up? This looks like at one point it was permanently shut. I guess a coyote could have jumped in right there. I'm not sure. It seems a little far-fetched, but we can screw some more boards onto that today. And then coming over to here, I don't think they're getting in this way, but there's definitely been some carnage in there. Let's make sure we got no snakes up underneath here, but I mean, he seems to maybe be thinking they're coming in from over here. There is a broken egg right there though, which would mean, you know, that would mean something had to get that egg and get it out. Unless it, I don't really like creeping around here where we got broken eggs and stuff that snakes would like. So that's closed off. So they ain't getting in that way. I just don't understand. Unless up underneath, maybe there's a hole. I have no idea what's under here. Probably a lot of spiders. I don't know. Now, unless I'm severely missing something, this has to be the only point of entry. Well, I mean, there are fresh feathers right here, like something was taken out of the coop last night. So I think if we board this up, we should be pretty solid. And I think I got like a scrap 2x4 or something in the back of the mini truck. I don't have any of my impacts. Those are all at the restaurant. So we're gonna use my 12-volt Milwaukee screw gun to send some of these 3-inch screws. And then we get the damn donkeys trying to eat the food I just threw out for the guinea hens. Willie, come on, buddy. This is for the guinea hens, man. You got acres of food you can go eat. Go on, go on. Alright, pretty solid. Now, those are some pretty dirty, hokey fixes. Not something, you know, if I actually cared about that chicken coop that I would do. Obviously, this coop has, you know, seen better days. And I'm sure it worked fantastic when it was first built, but now it's, you know, it's weathered, things start to bow, things start to get weak, latches get leak. So it's probably not the most secure thing. And honestly, you guys know I'm a germaphobe. And if we took the whole chicken situation more seriously, I'd build a fantastic, much nicer, higher end coop. One of the ones where it has the egg boxes where the eggs drop out and roll separately. So it's never like they're actually sitting on the eggs and basically pooping on the eggs. And to me, the eggs are disgusting. All y'all homesteaders out there know, if you don't wash the eggs, they last for a long time, which also kind of weirds me out, but whatever. I know the science is there, but mentally it's a mental block for me. So you grab all these eggs that are covered in chicken poop because, again, they actually just have like regular nest box here, not egg boxes that pull the egg away as soon as it is laid. And you don't want to wash it because as soon as you wash it, it goes bad pretty quickly. Now you got to refrigerate it. So it was always this weird thing to me. So we've given away hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of eggs, and everybody loves these eggs. I just can't get past the mental block of they're not clean. So I've actually never had one of the eggs from our chickens. And they've actually stopped producing because we stopped taking them. So you can get them to start again if you want, but that's something we really care for at the moment. I'm sure, you know, in a shit hit the fan kind of world, this is a fantastic setup and we can easily start the egg production again if we need to. But one day I'm probably gonna build a like super sick chicken coop Again, fully Gucci'd out with all of the right stuff to make sure everything is just clean and sanitary the way that I would like it and want to eat it. I do want to build something really cool for the geese though, because they will hop in that little kiddie pool and kind of splash around and stuff. And I would like to get them a bigger pond area that they can swim in and have a blast, especially George. George loves to go into that pool swimming. And of course the donkeys are back to trying to eat that little bit of food that we threw out. But we'll see, that's like not on the top end of the priority project list. And Willie's coming back over. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Willie, did you see the sunset? There's a nice looking sunset right there, huh, buddy? We got to clean this whole area up. I got to grade this better. This berm worked great to keep all of the water out of the guest house. If you guys recall back when this thing flooded, it breached the dam as we were remodeling the guest house and it almost completely flooded the entire guest house. But now that we have the wall there, we don't really so much need this berm. It is nice though, because it does direct water that way and that way instead of it ever really getting close to that wall that we built. But I just feel like this is something we can do better. I don't know if I've ever introduced you guys to Leo. Maybe I have. Leo, come here. So Leo is a cat that just showed up one day, and again, a super, super cool, friendly cat. We seem to luck out with cats. As a guy that has never liked cats, number one, I'm super allergic, so Leo, please don't rub on me beyond my hands there. Number two, you know, I've heard horror stories, and everybody's got like grumpy cats and mean cats and super just like moody cats. Oh, Leo's out. Leo's out. Willie came over and scared him off. But the cats that have shown up on this property and basically live here now are pretty cool cats. He's really taken to the tenants at the guest house there. Obviously, we don't let him in because, well, no pets allowed in that guest house. I'm not gonna have that place start to smell like animals, but they feed him, they take care of him. You can see his butt was shaved a little bit right there. He had like a little abscess on there that they took care of for him. Super cool cat, very friendly. Goats. We got to put you up. Oh, we got a goat battle going on over here. Hey, I don't have a bottle. I'm sorry. No, that's a finger, not a bottle. You're way beyond bottle fed. Now, if y'all remember when I got you know, we got them from James and his family, and I wanted bottle fed ones because this one behind me right here was bottle fed. Well, these ones were also bottle fed, and as you can see, when they are bottle fed, they are very friendly goats, and they really like human interaction. Because, ow, that's my hair. Don't eat my hair. Oh, okay, that's a hat. All right, you gotta go down. You're getting too friendly. You are too friendly. I know, you're great goats. You guys are great goats. So bottle feeding goats is definitely the way to go. I mean, really any animal, if you want them to be super friendly and enjoy human interaction, which to me, you know, these are all pets. We're not sitting here, we're not eating the goats or the chickens or anything like that. What's up? So if we're gonna have them, they better be friendly. Once the animals hear the gates of the food pen open, they all just start singing because they know some food is coming. Now again, these guys free range all day long, so we try to not give them too much food at the end of the night, but they do get fed some hay twice a day. Big Walt obviously loves his hay, and he's the head honcho here, so they all kind of stay away, so we'll make them a couple of piles around here. And then the goats get some goat food. And again, we don't want to give them too much, but this is just enough to get them really excited to go back into their pen for the night. But they go crazy for this stuff. As you can see, everybody watch out, y'all. But look at that sunset over there. Alrighty, animals are all fed. Got to double lock this because the donkeys do know how to open up these latches. Everybody eating, everybody good. Again, y'all, just look at that beautiful sunset right there. Pretty much you got to give these guys their own pile, Willie his own pile because they'll bully him out of it, Walt his own pile because Walt will bully everybody out of the pile. Obviously, he's the one that really needs to eat the most because he's a big boy. Oh, and even the guinea hens are coming over looking for some food. Y'all got some over there already. I will say one of the best things we did though when I first moved in is put all of these lights over here in the animal stalls. These ones will kick on in a second once it gets a little bit darker, even though I did have a neighbor try to fight me because of these lights, and I'll go into that story one day later on the membership page here. But that one was pretty freaking wild, let me tell you guys. But I know this was a super short video. I mean, as you can see, it's about to get dark, so we're not gonna hang out here much longer, but just wanted to give you guys a little animal update, and hopefully we stopped the chicken massacre that was going on over here. Not really sure. Oh, Leo is doing some investigating. What's up, buddy? Come here, buddy. Come here. There we go. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now, though you do not miss out on any future content. Y'all are the best. I'm out. Damn. Yeah.